Good evening, football fans. You're live. Third down with Morgan Holder. I am Morgan.
And I am the almighty Holder. Welcome to the show, folks.
I do want to say I do have to apologize real quick for last week. Holder was under the weather, and I did not want to go on without him.
What a loser!
I'm sorry, Holder. You're the anchor of the show, so can't go on without you.
You know, if it were me, I would have went on without you, and I still would have burned you. That would have been you on a comeback for the next show.
You're right. You're just like the Batman of the show. You know, you're the glue that holds everything together.
No, Morgan. You know, I kind of hate you this week.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see why. Before we get to the reason why, Holder, I do want to give out my shout outs. You know, Undisputed, First Take, and Good Morning Football.
Finally, you included one that was worth mentioning.
Well, hey now. First of all, these are the same ones I had since middle of last year.
Well, you know, the cast has changed.
Yeah, they have. They have. It's a little different.
And I'm not a big Irving fan, so.
No, I mean, I'm not either, but he speaks the truth, so I still gotta give them props.
Yeah, when he's sober, I guess. Anywho, changing that subject, Pat McAfee show for me, and oh my God, I should have said the pivot first, but okay, the pivot for Super Bowl safety, Brian Clark, and on that note, he is doing a special on the fearlessness of Sean Taylor. That's going to be an hour long.
Oh, I can't wait. Sean Taylor, if you guys don't know, is one of the best safeties to ever play the game. Gone way too soon.
Yeah, way too soon. And my last shout out goes to Get Up.
Okay. You know, I'm always dogging you on those, but, you know, here recently I've been listening to them, to all the shows you named, and I have to give you the props, man. Like, they are the truth. I can tell you that. They are the truth.
Good shows. Don't care much for Buddy Ryan, or what's his name? Not Buddy Ryan. The ex-Jets coach. Can't think of his first name, but he's a Ryan.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Nor do I care for the guy Orlick, or whatever his name is, the old ex-quarterback for the Detroit Lions that ran out of the back of the end zone.
Or I know who exactly you're talking about.
Trying to avoid your super sack leader. What was his name? I can't think of his name.
You're not talking about Jared Allen.
White dude.
Jared Allen.
Nobody could block.
Jared Allen.
Yeah.
He was,
and he's got the nerve to critique other quarterbacks, and he was running on the back
Dan
end
Orlovsky
line trying to get away, and didn't know he was out of bounds.
You talking about Dan Orlovsky?
Dan Orlovsky. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not gonna cuss today. I promise you, I'm not gonna cuss. Try not to cuss the rest of the year for the show, but he is a worthless piece of guy.
Hey, you know what? Our show is live and uncut.
That's true. That is true. Older. So beginning of the show,
sometimes you may hear animal sounds. Sometimes you may hear
some sirens,
phones ringing.
Yeah, you never know. Never know what can happen. That's the best part of our show. Like, it's real. Like, it's not scripted. It's not like coming out like, oh, we gotta retake this part or cut this part out. No, it's real. It's us. And I think it's what makes us.
It's real. It's raw, and our listeners can also be real and raw.
Oh, absolutely. I love when people interact and get involved in things. How old are you?
All right, what do you got for me?
So
give it.
beginning
Might
of the
as well
show,
get it started.
Holder, you said you was upset with me for this week. Could that be because I beat you this past week with the picks that we did?
Yeah, there were some teams, especially mine, and I believe I went with yours as well.
Yeah. We'll have
That stung me. I mean, yeah, it was a terrible thing. Josh Allen played like crap.
And that's the thing. Holder.
The Jets defense kept them in that game.
But here's the thing. If anybody watched that game, and I go back and I have to like rewind after the game. I rewind it to at the end. If you've seen the end on that punt return kickoff, if you noticed the Jets player tripped the Buffalo's player, there was no penalty whatsoever. Granted, a field goal would have won that game, but I think it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the speed of the game. They don't catch every call, and then they make BS calls when they do make calls. So
that's true. That is true. Three games. I'm gonna say 3 games stuck out to me this past week, and the first game was Detroit and Kansas City. Kansas City lost against the Lions at home. How do you feel to be with Kansas City this year?
They had 2 excuses, Morgan. 2. Chris Jones and Travis Kelce.
You think that's a big factor right there? You think if these guys was playing, the Lions wouldn't have won?
Morgan, did you see that game?
I did. I still have faith in the Lions. Granted, the Lions are the Lions of the NFL. Like they come and go, right? Like they've been crappy for decades.
I do too.
But I feel like the Lions are going to be really, really tough to beat this year.
Let me put this on your side of the ball, okay? 1, did you see all the drop passes?
I did. Okay.
Okay, so Kelce would have made those catches, right?
Right.
And 2, Jared Goff is basically a pocket quarterback. He can move, but he's basically a pocket quarterback. And if Chris Jones would have been playing, they would have had some sacks. I still think the outcome would have been the same. And not to take nothing away against Kansas City because they played great. But I feel like the Lions wanted it more. They wanted to win more. They wanted that win to show people, hey, we're not the same Lions as we have been before. This year is different. Well, I understand that. I do believe, just like the Lions defense won that game.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how I feel. Just like I feel like Dallas's defense obliterated the Giants. Danny Jones is not the quarterback everybody thinks he is, and he broke down against the Cowboys. Like he melted. Well, let me ask you this: did you think the Giants were an up and coming team this year? No. Just because they got Daniel Jones. If they had somebody else that was at the helm, then maybe. I think they need to start rebuilding like everybody else has. I think it's time to go to rebuild mode. Okay. So with that being said, and I know you're going to be raw about this, do you think they weren't a good matchup for Dallas? Would San Francisco have been a better matchup for Dallas? Oh, absolutely. I think the 49ers defense and offense all around is way better than the Giants. I don't think the Cowboys would have won like they did against the Giants. I think if they would have won, it would have been by 3 points. So you're saying Purdy wouldn't have been ready for the? No, absolutely not. Man, honestly, if and nothing to take away from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a really good team, but they had some miscommunication. They had some breakdowns. I feel like if the 49ers played it, the top-notch defense of the Cowboys, I don't think Brock would have been ready. I think he would have sit out that game. think he's digging yourself a hole, Morgan.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you're preaching about Dallas. Now, are they a Super Bowl contender? Will they be?
They will make the playoffs. They will be done. I'm gonna say round one because they will be a wild card team. So they would be out round one. They will lose round one because of Prescott. Now, if maybe Cooper Rush was out him, then yeah, I would definitely say Super Bowl contenders.
So I think the Niners and the Cowboys meet this year, and then if they met again, it would be in the playoffs. So you're saying Dallas won't go past round one?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if they do, it's gonna be a miracle. It'll be a surprise. And I'm not taking nothing away from Cowboys. I'm sorry, fans, not doing that. So don't think that. But it'll be a surprise because again, the Giants is the Giants. The Giants is a laughing stock of the NFL, just like the Lions was, right? The Giants, they barely made the playoffs last year. I know they beat the Vikings last year in the playoffs, but they barely made that playoff run. I think this year is going to be a different outcome. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But the Giants, when they match up the 49ers, which looks like week 5, they will match up the 49ers at 49ers Stadium. I believe the outcomes will be totally different. The Cowboys is not going to be ready for the 49ers defense, and Brock isn't going to be ready for the Cowboys defense. It's going to be defense versus defense.
Okay, so let me do this. I know we're only in week 2.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to run out some big name quarterbacks to you that are in the top 10. I'm not going to name all 10, but I'm going to throw some names at you that everybody are praising that you think are semi-overrated.
Okay, go shoot.
Because they still have yet to prove to me, when I ring these names off, they still have to show and prove to me. And the person, of course, is Josh Allen.
I have to agree with you with Josh Allen, and the reason why is because he had Stefon Diggs for 3 years, and they still haven't made a run. I mean, that defense has been pretty good. Could we blame Josh Allen? Yes. Could it be coaching staff? Maybe. But I'm gonna put the blame on Josh Allen.
Well, you have to because you got that big payday.
I mean, you have a big receiver, a good receiver. He's gonna make the Hall of Fame and Diggs, but you can't win a playoff.
True. My second is Justin Herbert.
Herbert is still kind of so I'm glad you said Herbert. Herbert's been in the league 3-4 years. Yes, he has still some improvement to do. I think he's going to get there. Just give him a little bit more time. I'm going to say by next year he should be an elite quarterback because he's not quite elite yet. But next year he should be elite.
Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of feel the same way with that. But
I mean, can you blame
coaching?
coaching?
I don't know where the Chargers have fallen off.
No, the defense is fantastic. I believe the offense. I mean, you have Eckler and Keelan Allen's always hurt. He's not the same. He's getting old. Maybe replace him with a younger receiving with like a guy from Cincinnati. Higgins or Boyd. I think one of those guys from Cincinnati would be a good fit with the Chargers.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Maybe add some line. I mean.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you 100%, which I normally don't do because of your lack of football knowledge, but okay.
You say so.
Now the kid that's in Baltimore,
Lamar Jackson.
Oh God,
he's had his chance. He was MVP once. Supposed to be in their year. He chokes. He chokes under pressure. He's not consistent. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I'm sorry. He had his time. Did he have a good receiving core? Yes and no. Right? He did, but he didn't. Now the question is, who's at fault? And I don't think it's the coaching. I think it's him. I think he is uncoachable. I think he wants to do things his way or it's the highway. And that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, well, you got the first year of him starting. Here's where I'm going to give him a little leeway. But they were primarily a running team.
Right.
So they didn't throw the ball a lot, which kind of contributed to his lack of accuracy because they didn't throw the ball much.
But that takes time in practice, though. When you practice, you get better. Preseason, you get better.
Yeah, I understand. But they were primarily a running team. So given the next few years, yeah, he didn't prove anything. He didn't prove anything. So now he has his so-called receivers, his weapons. So we'll see how this season is going to be. But I agree with you.
I mean,
again, 100%.
Odell Beckham isn't the top tier receiver like he used to be in the Giants when he played for them. But they do got rookie Flowers. I think he's going to be really, really talented. They got Mark Andrews still. I mean, I'll have to say it's Lamar Jackson's still going to be at fault. I don't think he was NFL ready.
Yeah.
I don't think he was NFL ready.
No. You know, I don't know if he's not NFL ready, but I know he can run.
He can run, yeah, absolutely. But throwing the ball is not his forte. And I don't know if it's because he don't practice enough, or
yeah, and you're right. And that's the thing. That is when you're probably going to be needed most.
And teams caught on to that.
Because of long distance down.
Absolutely. And teams caught to that. Teams, okay, you make him run. He can't throw. We're going to make him run, contain him, and we can still beat him. And teams caught on to that.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a speedy linebacker or a safety that can
not just that. I think
if you can get a guy that can move laterally.
Oh, absolutely. And it don't have to be an elite.
There's guys out there. That guy in San Francisco, Warner.
Oh God,
that dude.
He's going to be
side to side.
He's going to be a monster.
Linebacker.
He's going to be a monster. And that's the thing. You don't have to be elite linebacker or elite safety to contain somebody. You just have to have that speed and that stamina to get them. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to hurt Lamar Jackson. He hasn't found his match yet.
Okay, now. Okay, let's spend too much time on him. Let's go with Joe Burrow. Now, he has proven that he can get to the big game.
Now, but we cannot put blame on him. They don't have a line. They haven't had a line since they had him. If they got a line, it would be totally different. He went to Super Bowl without a line.
Well, he just lost to the Browns.
With no line. Look how many times he got sacked.
It was week 1. You can't judge the whole season.
That's true.
First game.
That is true. They got one guy.
But he's coming off hamstring injury?
Yes.
Calf injury?
It was a hamstring injury.
Okay. So right now I guess you would put him above everyone that I've named so far.
I would put him above Lamar Jackson and
with more of a chance.
Yes.
To be more of a threat.
Now, is he an elite quarterback? He could be. But is he right now? No, absolutely not.
Okay, now let's go old school. And I know you wanted to talk about this. The Jets quarterback.
Which one?
Is he
Zach Wilson?
Done. Is he? No.
Aaron Rodgers? Look,
a Hall of Fame guy that was supposed to be the answer.
If it was me, if I was Aaron Rodgers, you're 39, almost 40. Go ahead and call it quits. You tear your Achilles. That's a rough road recovery at your age. Go ahead and retire.
He's out for the season, right?
Yeah, he's done. You're going to be a Hall of Fame. You have nothing else to prove. You got a Super Bowl, some MVPs. Go ahead and retire. Hang them up. Don't come back from an injury and have another injury like this to hurt your chances of being that great quarterback. Go ahead and retire.
Well, if he wasn't injured, do you think he would have been Super Bowl bound?
No. They were still missing pieces. I love the fact that the Jets was trying to build around the defense they had last year. I love that fact, but they still was missing some pieces. A top tier receiver, maybe a good tight end, and that's on offense. If you go on defense, maybe a decent linebacker or an outside linebacker. They were still missing some pieces.
Yeah.
The question
you're
is
right about that.
The question is, how far would they have got? I would say they would have made it to the second round of the playoffs.
All right. Well, those are the quarterbacks I had in mind. Everybody else is pretty young. I wasn't going to say Deshaun Watson.
So let me ask you a question, because I feel like you forgot one, and I'm glad you didn't mention that sex predator. I feel like you forgot a quarterback that you haven't touched on, and I think it should be touched on, was Prescott.
You think he's a top 10?
I feel like the Cowboys made a wrong decision by keeping him. I feel like that when they let go of Elliott, they should let go of Prescott. I don't think Prescott is that quarterback that's going to get you to the Super Bowl. He had a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent around him, and we could blame the coaching, we could blame everything, but he's had line, he's had great defense, he's had multiple receivers. When is the blame on everybody else but Prescott going to stop?
I don't put him in top 10. Maybe on the fringe, 12.
He's definitely 13, up there. He's definitely
maybe.
up there. He's up there, and the reason why I think he's up there is because he's been in the league for so long, and he hasn't accomplished everything that he was made to be when he got into the league.
So basically, Tony Romo was a top 10 quarterback.
No, what I'm saying is when Prescott came to the league and he did his 1 year, playing, they was like, oh, he's the franchise quarterback. He's going to be the guy to get us over the hump and win a Super Bowl. But he's not. He's not at all.
Well, yeah, he was phenomenal his first year.
And then he went downhill.
You're talking about a quarterback that was unsuccessful in the playoffs, and then Dak is kind of following in his shoes.
Well, and here's the thing. I feel like if Cooper Rush would have stayed playing for the Cowboys last year, I know that's Prescott's team. I know that. I get that. But I feel like if they had Cooper Rush playing over Prescott, they would have made a big push to the playoffs. I'm not saying it would beat the 49ers, but they would have came damn close to beating them.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're not even mentioning Philadelphia.
Hurt has one. He's
last year.
No. I don't think Philadelphia would have got past the Cowboys with Cooper Rush.
Really?
Yes. And to be honest, if Brock was healthy, if he didn't get hurt, Philadelphia would have lost. They would have got demolished.
I don't know. Didn't Philly have the number one defense last year?
Yeah, but they was playing with
or was it?
They was, but you got to think the quarterback that came in from Brock, look how terrible he played. Terrible. Your defense could play so well, but your quarterback can be at least average. That guy was a high school quarterback. He was terrible. He sucked.
Come on, man. He was a third stringer, man.
I'm just saying, he sucked.
Because Brock wasn't Brock backing up Jimmy G.
He was. Well, no. So it was Jimmy G, Trey Lance, and then it was Brock. But Johnson, I think was the last name. Johnson.
So the guy was fourth string.
But he was terrible. He was terrible. And that's the thing. If you had a decent quarterback, I feel like, and I hate to say this because I don't like Kirk Cousins, but I feel like if Kirk Cousins had a defense on the 49ers, I think he could have won a Super Bowl.
Dude, You're telling me a fourth string quarterback that gets 0 reps in practice and training camp could have beat that team?
I'm just saying you could
No way.
be average. That guy was not average. He was booty.
Dude, that guy had no practice with the starting offense. He had no chemistry. He had
But that's the thing.
no
That's the
time.
thing. That's the thing, though. Look what I'm saying, though. You could be an average quarterback, and I feel like you can still have chemistry. It's all about how you present yourself, right? So maybe after practice, hey, can I throw some balls with you? Or before practice, hey, can we throw some balls with you? This guy obviously didn't do that. I feel like this guy was
basically a practice squad.
I feel like this guy was a Walmart greeter, and they picked him like, "Hey, we need you. Come play."
They had to elevate him because everybody else was hurt. So he was not even expecting getting playing time.
Before we get into the picks for the week, before we get to the picks this week, let me ask you a question. Do you think the 49ers has what it takes to win Super Bowl this year?
I think the 49ers will be tested this year. But Dallas, Detroit, the Eagles.
Okay.
And I don't know if all three of those teams are on their schedule.
Let's look a little quick.
But
I mean, it's fair enough. That is fair enough. I mean, hey, I'm not hating. I'm not. I just feel like that the 49ers is something to be scared of. I think people should be scared of the 49ers. Especially when healthy.
See any other NFC defenses like those three teams.
So they have the Eagles. They don't have the Lions, but they have the Eagles and they got the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So. And they have I mean, I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll have to see, right? It's gonna be a game.
The Jets or the Jags this year.
They got the Jags. They got the Jaguars, and the Jaguars is playing home against the 49ers.
Okay.
And
so you don't see any other defenses looking at that schedule.
So a couple of them pops out. Yeah. A couple pops out, but I'm like, man, like it all depends on health. Are they going to be healthy, right? Like I feel like the Rams defense, when healthy, I feel like they can contain the 49ers, and they got them this week.
Okay, so we'll bring that back around when we go over the picks, but. Oh man, you got to talk about Matthew Stafford too. I mean,
and when he's on point, he's good. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, these picks for me, like I said, I made some head scratchers, and someone was like, what can happen here?
So let's get into that. Let's get into that because you seem to be the kingpin of picks in your mind.
I am. I mean, I go by. Stats. You go by talent, and obviously I won last week, so let's do it. For tomorrow,
you certainly didn't win by
stats. I feel like I did.
You won on a fluke because Wilson is not a statistical quarterback.
He is not. And I'm sorry, Jet fans, but Zach Wilson is not the guy that you guys should have. I think y'all should go off somebody else. Zach Wilson. I said Zach Wilson. I apologize.
His name is not Jack Wilson.
The Jets quarterback is Zach Wilson.
It is not Jack.
Zach. Z-A-C-K. Zach. Or Z-A-C-H.
I thought you said Jack.
No. Wow, Holder, I know you're old, but I don't think you're that old. So tomorrow's game, of course, it's the Vikings and the Eagles. And they're playing at Philadelphia. I got Minnesota. I can't go against my team. I got Minnesota, and you pick Philadelphia. back of my mind, I know Minnesota would lose, but I want to have hope in my team, so I got Minnesota.
So, coming off of Kirk's last performance, do you really think he'll read from the team, the Tampa Bay?
So Kurt's performance wasn't
defense.
Kurt's performance wasn't bad last week. KJ Osborne missed the catch. Like, he could have caught that pass. I could have caught that pass. He dropped the pass in critical performance, and it cost us the game. So I can't put the blame on Kirk. Kirk threw that ball.
So Kirk threw how many picks?
We're going to talk about this. We're really going to do this. So what we're going to do, Holder?
Kirk threw 2 picks.
2. But it's not crucial, though. It was crucial. Don't get me wrong. It was crucial. But
and a fumble.
He had 2 fumbles. Thank you.
So that's what, 4 turnovers?
He had 1 interception, by the way. Just FYI. So
okay, 3 turnovers.
So the first fumble, I can't blame him because it was the backup center. I don't know if it was miscommunication. I don't know what happened, but the ball came in before Kurt's hands was even ready. So I can't put the first fumble on Kurt. The second fumble was definitely Kurt. It was definitely Kirk. But I guess performance was really good. I mean, 33 out of 44, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, I feel like our running game isn't as strong without Cook. I feel like it's not as strong.
You wanted to get rid of Cook.
I did. And I'm not saying nothing against Alexander or Ty Chandler. I feel like they need more touches. Alexander only had 11 carries. I feel like he needs more carries. Get him involved more.
Okay, so let's with those kind of stats against Baker, whatever his name is. You lost to Baker Mayfield, man.
But again, you can't put the blame on Kirk Cousins. Again, KJ Osborne dropped a pass that should have been caught for the first down to make Tampa Bay to call a timeout, and he couldn't do it. We was forced to punt.
Who dropped the pass?
KJ Osborne.
Didn't you say he was really good last year?
He was. And I don't know if it's because they moved him from second string to third string. I don't know if he's mad about it because Jordan Addison got more reps than him. I don't know. But hopefully this game he comes in like the KJ Osborne he was a couple of years ago and last year.
Okay.
So.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
And I'm not making excuses.
They got Jalen Carter.
That's true. I'm not making no excuses up, but also it does not help that we did not play any of our stars at all during preseason. Not even a little bit.
And see, that's what I was trying to tell you. Look at what happened to Rodgers. Right? First game of the season. Injuries can happen at any time. If you don't get your starters in there and get them some chemistry in live games, those injuries can happen anytime.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, look at how I don't think I know Josh Allen. Yeah, he played.
I think he did like 2
but
plays.
I don't think Burrow didn't play because of his injury.
Yeah, he didn't play, and he played like crap too. So yeah, you know what? I think week 2 was going to tell us a lot about teams this year. They got the rust out of them. They got the jitterbugs out of them, butterflies out of them. Now it's time to play. This is week 2. You got to come to play.
Week 2? That's a little early. I'll go week 3 because teams do tend to rebound from an 0-2 loss.
That's true. You're right.
And build chemistry.
You're right.
I mean, if you go 0-3, man, that's a stretch because we went 1-6 last year.
Well, Bengals went 1-3.
We turned around.
Bengals went 1-3 last year, and they turned around. So yeah, you're right. Week 2 is a stretch. Okay. Next game is
So
Green is go ahead.
go ahead, go. I was gonna say go ahead with your next pick.
So Green Bay and Atlanta's next game. We both got Green Bay. I feel like Green Bay is more talented than the Falcons' offense and defensive line. I don't. I'm not too sure about Jordan Love. He played against the Bears. The Bears are terrible, but I mean he had a good performance because he won. So I'm hoping that that he can get me another win this week.
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of homework on Love, but
I
everybody
think
seems to be think he's the answer.
I'm not going to say the answer, but I think he is definitely going to be the answer for the next couple of years until they get a elite quarterback. Maybe he can turn into be an elite quarterback. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll find out.
I don't know. I think he'll through the years get the experience and learn.
That's true.
Defenses
and he's still
to build the chemistry with his receivers and
he's still in his 20s. So
yeah. So I mean, why not give him a shot? He clearly is the best.
I think the only problem that Green Bay is going to have is trying to stop Robinson, the running back out of Texas. I think he's going to be a problem. He was a problem last week. I think he's going to be a problem this week.
Yeah. Yeah,
that guy is going to be. He's going to be amazing.
Riddick, is that his name? Riddick, quarterback. You don't think he'll be a key factor?
No, he wasn't a key factor last game. I think again it comes down to Robinson.
Okay.
Next pick.
All right. Well, that's the game we'll just have to monitor. Then.
Oh, definitely. This next pick, it was an iffy. I wanted to pick Buffalo, but I couldn't pick Buffalo because of reasons. So I went with Las Vegas.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I feel like
you're kidding.
Hey, I feel like because look, Buffalo lost because of Jets. I feel like Las Vegas can beat Buffalo. And again, nothing against Zach Wilson, but Jimmy G is way better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but
Las Vegas.
I don't think
Las Vegas defense is okay.
The Raiders defense,
but
is ready for Buffalo.
Now, is Buffalo's defense ready for Jacobs, the running back out of Las Vegas?
Oh yeah.
Are they ready for Davante Adams?
You can shred a team like also the Jets were ripping Buffalo on the ground. But I don't think they have. Jimmy G still has to prove himself there. But against a contender like Buffalo, like you said, we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm not throwing Buffalo under the fence yet.
Nothing against Buffalo fans. You guys are probably fantastic. I just don't like how Buffalo handled things with the owner that came out. I don't like that.
Oh, you mean that racist remark?
Yes, and I just don't. I don't like that. I don't like how it all of a sudden came out. It should have came out sooner, right? It kind of got underneath my skin. I don't like that. And yes, the Cowboys, their owner, he made some racial remarks before it, and he has in the same time that the Buffalo Bills owner did. But we got to see. We got to find out what happens. What?
Now, the same thing happened with Jon Gruden, right?
That's true. But I don't believe Jon Gruden for a second is racist. I don't.
No, I don't either. But
there was proof.
You can't take it personal for what the owner said away from your stats and my talent with the Buffalo Bills.
I think it's going to be a distraction. I think it's going to be a distraction. I think it's going to be a big distraction for Buffalo because of what happened. I think they should have waited to end of the year, if not, before the year started. I think it's going to be a big distraction, and it's going to come down to that distraction of them losing.
Really?
Yes.
So you don't think that remark would make the team stronger and bond?
No, because because Diggs is gonna be Diggs. Diggs is a cancer. I think he's gonna take that personal.
Oh, well, yeah, Diggs is a prima donna.
He is. He is. He's already asked for a trade. Before this came out, he asked for a trade. I really think he's immature. I think Diggs is immature. So that's going to hurt
I
the
think
team.
wasn't it a rumor that Diggs wanted to go to the Cowboys?
That is not a rumor. That is actually true. Like him and his brother, they want to play together. Again, they played, from high school to college. That they want to play together again. Or not college, but high school. They played in high school together. Grew up. Pop Warner football. All that.
Yeah.
They want to play again. I don't think that's a bad idea because I'm not a Cowboys fan. More power to you. Go play for that sorry team, but don't complain when you're not getting the ball.
Well, I believe wasn't it at the end of last season he yelled into the camera for Dallas to come get him?
Yeah. Again, everybody can say, oh, he got CTE. I don't think he has CTE. I think he's a big crybaby.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. And I hate to agree with you because, again, of your football knowledge, but you're 100% right because he screwed Minnesota, and they had a great offense.
Oh man, fabulous
and
offense.
Was upset because he wasn't getting the ball.
But here's the thing: I'm glad Minnesota traded him because we were not. If we didn't trade him, we wouldn't have Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison. We wouldn't have those two guys.
Didn't Jordan Addison get arrested for speeding or something?
Look, he did, but he blamed his dog. Okay, so we're gonna say his dog was sick. He was trying to get home for his dog. Okay, that story I'm sticking to. That's story. That is the story he said. I'm believing the story, and he did really great last night or last night. He did really great last week. So,
okay, I just wanted to throw that out.
Of course you did, Holder. Of course you did. Moving on. We both have the Bengals over Baltimore. I think the Bengals are going to be really good against Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore's defense is ready for the Bengals, and I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to play really well against the Bengals defense. I think that Bengals defense they're going to contain him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a true Lamar Jackson believer, and for me, it's on Lamar.
It is
why I went with the Bengals.
It is on Lamar.
I don't think he can perform when he absolutely has to through the air.
Oh, definitely. Here's my thing. I think he's going to throw 100, maybe 120, 130 yards, 2 interceptions, and he's going to rush for 200 yards, but they're going to lose.
You don't think he's going to have any pressure from OBJ?
I want to say yes. I really, really do. But the running back, JK, he's out. I don't think they have a reliable running back. So he's got to use his legs.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
So
you did tell me JK, what, Achilles?
Yeah. Yep, tears Achilles. That's crazy because that's 2 people in week 1 that has went down with the torn Achilles.
Yeah.
Holder. Well, I gotta wait because that's a couple games next. Next matchup, we both got Detroit over Seattle. I don't think Seattle was ready for Detroit. I think Geno Smith had a good year last year. That was it. I think his good run is over with.
Oh God, yeah. I think last year was a fluky year for him.
Oh, definitely.
And you did point it out that he was going to have a good season, but like I said, I mean, now that everybody's got tape on him, and I don't know if they added any new talent. And he does have weapons out there.
He does.
I just don't.
But he was a backup quarterback for a reason.
This team.
He was a second-string quarterback for a reason. And last year again was a fluke. This year is going to be the real him. I'd be surprised if they win 6 games with him this year.
I think Detroit is going to build up momentum.
God. And that's the thing. Beating a team
as they go through each game.
Oh, absolutely. But you got to think getting your first win against a great team in Kansas City. Yes, they missed two great athletes, but beating a team in Kansas City at home at Kansas City, I feel
Super Bowl champs, right?
I feel like now they're like, hey, we could beat this team. We could beat any team. It doesn't matter who they have. And I believe that's what's going to play with the Lions this year. I believe the Lions are going to come to play. They're going to be ready to play. And there's going to be a different Lion team than what we've ever seen before. I think they're going to be hungry.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
I just hope they keep that momentum.
I think, that team, they believe in their coach. They believe in each other.
I honestly
play like it.
I honestly believe this is going to be the best team the Lions would ever seen since Barry Sanders.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think this is a better team because Barry Sanders did it on his own.
That's true. This is a team effort now. Coaching. This
team has weapons everywhere. They have defense. I know
in
the black and blue division.
That's true.
How often do you get a team with a balanced offense and defense?
That is true. And special teams. Can't forget special teams.
Yeah. So
I'm a Viking fan, and I know I shouldn't say this, but I feel like Detroit's this is gonna be their year they win that division.
Yeah. That's I hate to say it, Bud, but
I mean, and I'm sorry, Minnesota fans. I'm sorry for letting you guys down, but it's real. It's real as gonna get as it gets, and we should understand that. Hey, this is not the year for Minnesota.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Minnesota, before we move to the next game. Are you going to split with Detroit?
At first, I wanted to say yes, but the way they play against Tampa Bay, I think Detroit's gonna smoke us both times. We gotta come. We gotta come playing. If we don't come playing, if we play patty cake like we did against Tampa Bay, the Lions gonna chew us up and eat us out, or chew us up and spit us out. Like it's not gonna be an easy come, easy go game. The Lions gonna smoke us, and we cannot play patty cake with this team.
Well, I'm sure a lot of Minnesota fans agree with you.
Like we can't come in there, field goal, touchdown. Oh, they got a touchdown. They're back in the game. We can't do that. We have to score, stop them from scoring, and score some more. We have to score at least 21 points before they score for us to even think about winning. Because if we score and let them score, again, they're going to come out firing on all cylinders again.
Well, now, don't discount the game you had last year where you had the big comeback.
That was last year. This year's different. This Lions team has been hot since the end of last year, and they're staying hot. So I don't think they're going to be put out anytime soon.
Okay. Well, with that being said, again, another delay.
Next matchup.
What's the Lions record you think would be this year?
Oh man, they're going to win 12 games. They're going to win 12 games.
That's fair.
They're going to win 12 games. If they win more, that's the team that's going to make the Super Bowl. But I'm going to say 12 games.
Okay.
I think they put everybody on notice.
Okay, so, what's the next game, dude?
The next game, man, we both got the Chargers of Tennessee. I don't like Tennessee this year at all. I said this before. I say it again. They're one-dimensional, and everybody's stopping Henry. Henry hasn't. He's not doing anything like he's supposed to. Last game, he didn't make that push he needed to make. They lost against the Saints.
Will Tennessee make the playoffs?
Big no. No. Out of that division, I think it's going to be the Jags and Colts.
You think the Colts will make it?
Oh, absolutely. The Colts have a really good quarterback. Really good. Young. He's ready to play. He stays at the practice. He goes in practice before, like he's asking the right questions. He's ready. He's ready to be the face of that team.
Okay, well, we'll see. He's got some pretty good defenses to face
That's true.
compared to the one he just played.
That's true. That is true. Holder, I got to ask you this. This next game, you was dogging Baker Mayfield, but you had them beating the Bears. I got the Bears winning, but you got Baker Mayfield beating the Bears. And yes, I know it's just the Bears. I get it. But why?
Oh, well, the Bears for the last decade have not proven anything through the draft, through free agency. They went out and got some studs. They went out and got Khalil Mack.
And let
They
him
did all these things,
and let him
but
go.
that team is poorly managed
Okay.
and coached.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I can't spend a lot of time on that, but yeah, I agree with you. Moving on to the next game. I have Kansas City over Jacksonville. You got Jacksonville over Kansas City with Kelsey coming back and Jones coming back. Do you really feel the need of Jacksonville beating Kansas City?
I think this will be a prove-it game for Jacksonville. This is a game where they can put a feather in their hat to say we're an up-and-coming team to Detroit, right? Because Jacksonville is one of those teams on the rise.
Yes, definitely. They've been on a rise since last year, and they're a hot commodity. I don't know if it's because of Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if it's because of defense. I don't know if it's because of coaching, but they're phenomenal, really phenomenal. I just don't think they have what it takes to beat Kansas City yet.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes.
That could be the game that pushes me over the top.
Kansas City came off the.
That could be the game that wins me the picks.
Kansas City came off the loss against the Lions. Okay, so now they're like, we can't lose against another young team. We gotta beat this young team because I want people to know that we're still the truth. And I feel that's what Patrick Mahomes is gonna come out with.
Well, I hope his other receivers come out with that mindset too.
And before we move on real quick, I knew this was going to happen with Kansas City. I knew that once the offensive coordinator left, I knew that team was going to crumble, but I didn't think it was going to crumble that fast.
No, I mean, you have to think about this too. They can bracket coverage Kelsey, right? And those other receivers will have to step up.
That's true. That is true. And I don't think the receivers are as good as they claim to be. Kansas City, if Kansas City loses the game against Jacksonville, they're going to need to start thinking what to do next. Don't think about the Super Bowl. Think about next season. Go ahead, start thinking what we can do in the draft to get help for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because
like Mike Evans. He's out there. He'll be out there.
He is. But is he going to be that elite wide receiver that? Because he's 33. Is he going to be that a top-notch receiver again?
And maybe not top-notch, but dependable.
Right, very dependable. I mean, he's had multiple 1,000-yard receiving careers. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, he won't be the number one. He'll probably be, in the slot or something like that, but definitely a guy that can help you.
And not to mention, Higgins and Boyd's going to be free agents, I do believe, Gary come up. So maybe go after one of those guys. Either trade for him, sign him long term, or wait for they come the free agents. There's a lot of answers that Kansas City needs to answer if they lose against Jacksonville. A lot of answers. Moving on, we both have the Colts against Houston, and you know why I got the Colts. Again, they got that young, upcoming Richardson quarterback. Michael Pittman's going to be really good there with him. The question is, can they get JT back on the field to make them even a more contender? I don't think Houston's ready for this team.
I don't think Houston's ready because of the Colts' defense. They don't really have a slouchy defense.
They don't. They're not firepower, though. They're maybe top 20 defense. Maybe on a good day, they could be a top 20.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll give him that. Between 15 and 20, but
And Houston,
Houston is still young. Houston is still young.
they are. And I don't think what CJ Stroud's the quarterback over there. I don't think he is mentally prepared to go against teams in the NFL that's ready. Like the coach defense is ready for him. They're ready for him to play.
Again, Morgan, it's the now here's the flip flop on this, okay? They're division opponents, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But neither quarterback has faced each other in a division.
That's true, and I believe, and yes, I know people's going to hate me for saying this. I believe Richardson's a lot better than C.J. Stroud. I think C.J. Stroud in college, he had coaching, he had the talent, but I think Richardson's 10 times better than him right now in the NFL. And I know they only played one game, but I think Richardson is way better.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because Richardson stays at the practice, he goes to practice early, he's asking the right questions, he's trying to do everything he can to make his team better. What is C.J. Stroud doing?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything really great about him.
Exactly.
Habits or anything like that.
Exactly. But again, you heard all the great things about Richardson. Hey, he's saying he wants to stay at the practice. He's getting, chemistry with his team. I think JT needs to come back for the Colts to make them a contender. And I hope he does. I'm not a Colts fan, but again, this team is really going to be really young for years to come. And if they got JT on the field, the Colts will be nasty for years to come.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams might suffer from that running back position because they don't have a tendency to last long, but they're the most abused.
Oh, they are. And I feel like if you give the running backs maybe 12 to 15 carries a game, I think they will last a little bit longer. Instead of 20 to 40, 50 to 40, I feel like 20 to 15 carries a game. Take them out, give them some rest, put that backup in. Get that backup, same reps.
Yeah, but you have to have a good duo.
Oh, absolutely. I get that. And I, for example, I think Pittsburgh has that good duo. I think Pittsburgh has that 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few teams out there with that, but I think running backs should get a big pay increase.
I agree. Because they're the heart and soul of that team. I mean, I get it. I know the quarterback's supposed to be heart and soul, but it's running back. If you don't have a good running back, that team's going to melt under pressure.
Absolutely. I hope JT comes back too, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Next game, we both got 49ers of the Rams. I got the 49ers because I believe that they got something to prove. They want to prove that Brock is not a fluke. He is the real deal. And that defense is really strong.
Yeah, Brock is the real deal. I mean, he beat us into the ground. I'd like to see him in the Super Bowl, but yeah, I think he's the real deal. We knew that last year before he got hurt.
Oh, definitely. And I think he wants people to realize, hey, they got rid of Trey Lance for a reason because this is my team. This wasn't Trey Lance's team. This was my team all along. And I think he wants to show people that. Man, this next pick, I had to go with it because I feel like they're a better team. I got the Giants over Arizona. You got Giants over Arizona. I don't think Danny Dimes is a good quarterback, but I think he's better than what the Cardinals have right now since Murray is out.
Yeah. I think they're a better all-around team than Arizona is.
In Arizona,
offensively and defensively.
And I'm not trying to badmouth no team, but Arizona's supposed to be the up-and-coming team for years because of Kyler Murray, D-Hop. But what happened? What exactly happened with that team is the question.
Well, we know what happened with that team. Murray wasn't studying.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. That is just going to be a big no-no. Next game is the Jets and Cowboys. We both have the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys because I feel like the Cowboys defense is a lot better than the Jets. I love Sauce Gardner, though. Don't get me wrong. I love Sauce Gardner, but he's one guy. The Cowboys has multiple defensive players that's really good. And not to mention Prescott's better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but we made that pick before Rodgers' injury.
That's true. That is true. That is true. You're right.
So for me, we both have seen Rodgers under extreme pressure before.
And I think Parsons was going to put him in that pressure. I think he was going to come for him, and he was going to put him in a lot of pressure.
And Rodgers isn't that mobile guy he used to be.
And that's true, and we've seen it
So-
now. But yeah,
Yeah, we saw that with his last couple years in Green Bay, and that's why I went with Dallas, because he wouldn't be able to escape that defense.
and not to mention Diggs, he's a good cover man. Like you've thrown his way, he's going to interception the ball, or he's going to knock it down. He plays the ball, and that's how it's supposed to be. Play the ball.
Right.
Next pick, man. We both have Denver and Washington. I don't think Washington is the team they should be. Neither is Denver, but I guess we'll find out. I think one of those teams has to win, and I went with Denver.
You know, I went with Denver, and this was a coin toss for me, because I believe in Sean Payton.
Oh, absolutely. He's a guru. He is a coach guru.
But Washington has won some games that they should have lost.
That's true, but it's somehow that quarterback that can take them to the playoffs. Let's find out before we say yes. I will say about week 7, week 8, we should know by then.
Okay, so what are you gonna do point spread wise on this?
On that game, I'm gonna say Denver by 3.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Denver by 3. Next game is Miami and New England. We both got Dolphins. Dolphins should have won last week. Dolphins had some really good, talented players from defense to offense. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how. The Dolphins should have beat the Chargers more than what they did. They beat the Chargers by 2 points.
Why did they lose last week?
They won by
what happened?
They won by 2, but they was losing majority of the game. I don't know if it was like a breakdown with offense at first, because at first like they wasn't firing all cylinders. Defense was in the air. They should beat the Chargers more than by 2. They should have beat them by 14.
For me, you know what? I think is jinxing that team with his 2,000-yard predicted season. I think Hill is jinxing that ball club.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they got one of the best defensive backs over there in Jalen Ramsey. I honestly believe, and I'm not trying to throw smoke or shade at nobody, but I believe that Jalen Waddle is a lot better than Tyreek Hill.
Jalen Waddle, I like Jalen Waddle too. But I think Tyreek Hill is his mouth is.
He reminds me of an AB almost.
He's good, but you know, AB didn't talk like that. AB let his game show.
Yeah, but in the last couple of years,
getting like that till he left Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. That's what I was getting at. And you got to think, Hill wasn't like that in Kansas City. When he left Kansas City, now it's like his mouth is running.
Yeah, he's on another level. He's in a stratosphere. He's in another stratosphere. But yeah, what are you going to give me with the Dolphins record this year?
They should win 13 games. Should, but will they? Is the question.
13. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next 2 games on Monday night games, we both have New Orleans over Carolina. I don't think Carolina is ready yet. They're still missing some pieces. I don't think Bryce Young is that quarterback they should have drafted. But I'm not the owner, so.
Really?
Yes.
So you think Richardson should have been that guy?
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying they should have went deeper. They should have won on defense. They could have got some help on defense, maybe. Maybe Jalen Carter.
What, get a veteran QB?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could have traded for Trey Lance or something like that. But yeah, they should have got help on defense. Not knocking Bryce Young, but Carolina could have done a lot better pick.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And Carr has a lot more experience.
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
think he'll help New Orleans.
Oh God, I believe he will. I'm not saying he's that quarterback. He's that quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but he's going to be the quarterback taking to the playoffs.
You think he'll make the playoffs? Wow.
Absolutely. I feel like they have that chance. Now, if injuries happen, that could be a different story. But as of right now, being healthy, yes.
Okay.
Last pick before we go, we both have Pittsburgh over Cleveland. This was a head scratcher for me because the way that Pickett played last week, I hope you don't play like that again against the Browns. But I was like, man, I want to pick the Browns, but I don't like the Browns because of Deshaun Watson, and Pittsburgh has more talent. I just hope that they come on all cylinders this game.
Come on, man. You know, quarterbacks have down games. Quarterbacks have games where they throw 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, but this was Pickett's worst game. This was Pickett's worst game, and maybe that's what he needed. Maybe he needed that one bad game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I believe
and
every quarterback is going to have a bad game.
And nothing is 49ers, but I feel like Pittsburgh could have beat the 49ers. They could have beat them.
I think they could have too. Now, on that note, Josh Allen just had a bad game, right?
Yeah, but Josh Allen always has bad games, so that's nothing special, right?
Burrow.
Okay, yeah, that's another. I can't believe he did either. But Pickett, man, Pickett was a guy that I just because the way he played, even with the bad line, I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be great. I didn't think he's ever gonna have a bad game.
And I hope Pat Peterson steps his game up.
He's old. I told you that. And what I don't understand is you guys have 2 injured players over there, Cam Hayward and Johnson. Like, how is that going to take effect?
Johnson, I can accept that. Cam Hayward, yeah, that hurts because we got Calvin Austin.
Austin's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud.
He's going to be a stud. I mean, we have depth this year. We have a lot of depth.
You don't have his quarterback depth.
Thank God we got rid of Chase Claypool. Because Bears fans are hating him already.
Yeah. I didn't think he was worth even having on your team. I think the Bears should let him go. But yeah, I mean, I even with those 2 big losses in Pittsburgh, I still think Pittsburgh is going to be. I don't expect them to lose any more conference games. They lost against 49ers. I think they should beat anybody in that division this year. When they play against the Bengals, I think it should be. I think it should be the Bengals. I think it should be the Browns. I think they should beat. Who else is in that division? Baltimore. I mean, Pittsburgh is way more talented on defense than any of those teams I just named.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the season is, what we have, 16 more games, 15 more games? 16. The week hasn't started yet. So we'll see. And our bye week is week 6, I think, which is a good.
Oh, that's a good stretch. That's a good stretch. Absolutely. It's a good stretch. It's not in the middle of the week. It's a middle of the year. It's like right at the beginning of the year still. So, yeah, that's a good stretch. So.
Absolutely.
Holder, do you have anything?
About time you came.
What? What was you going to say?
I was going to say, it's about time you came to your senses.
Whatever. Holder, do you have anything to add? I mean, I know we went over a little bit, but we missed up a little bit last week without having a show, so I'm trying to add some more points in there to try to make up for it.
We knew this show would probably run over, and it did because we didn't even go over our picks from last week, really. So the plan was to go over both weeks. But no, I think we got in what we were supposed to get in. I mean, definitely got to send shouts out to our listeners.
Oh, definitely. If you got listeners, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I haven't seen no comments, but please leave some comments, and I would love the feedback. Let us know what to work on. Let us know what you want to listen to. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know about your favorite team.
Yeah, definitely do that because we will be raw with you and you can be raw with us.
Oh, absolutely. It's all fun and games, right? Fun and games. Especially me. I hate certain teams. I hate certain players. So please throw anything at me. Tell me who your favorite team is, favorite player, and let's have fun with it. Let's make this the best year.
Absolutely.
So with that
Morgan,
being, yeah.
you know, your sign off is a lot better than your presentation at the beginning of
I knew he was gonna say that before I sign off though. Subscribers, listeners, thank you. I love you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't do the show. So please, please let us know your thoughts. You can email us at third down with Morgan Hoder. It's third down, 3RD down with Morgan Hoder at gmail.com. As well, hit us on our Twitter page, well, X page now instead of Twitter. It's third down with Morgan Hoder, 3RD down with Morgan Hoder. As well as our Facebook page, third down with Morgan Hoder, 3RD down with Morgan Hoder. With that being said, guys, please keep us updated with what you guys want. I love the fact that we have some listeners and subscribers. So please keep coming and don't let fourth down get you.
Don't let fourth down get you. You know, I have, you know what, I'm not going to bleed you this much. I'll wait for the next show. But yeah, listeners and subscribers, please tune in, refer us to friends if you can. And if you have any ideas for us, please let us know. We can include those on the show to get more listeners and subscribers. All of that is going to be fed to all of my chemistry and talent people. I'm going to say stay penalty free, and we are out of here.